Hi, this is needlepointers.com, and today I'd like to show you how to make these wonderful paracord bracelets with beads. These bracelets have a plastic bracelet hook and can be taken on and off, and they're made with paracord. These three I've made, or four I've made with a single color paracord, but in my demo today, I'm going to show you how to make one of these with two colors of paracord. When making it with two colors, it's the same process as one color, except you're just using two different strands of the paracord, and you fix them together, and I'll show you how to do that. So it's a choice to put the beads on there, or you could do it with just plain, with no beads, but I thought the beads would be an interesting addition, and you can use all different colors of paracord and all different colors of beads. As you see, I have some different ones here. To make this project, you need paracord, scissors, a measuring tape, or some kind of ruler. Any kind of ruler will work. You'll need a lighter, some duct tape, and if you want to add beads, you'll need some pony beads. You need to find beads that have a very large opening, like these pony beads, because in order to string the beads, you have to string it onto the paracord, and the paracord's pretty thick. So when we put it on there, we want to make sure that the pony bead has a big enough hole. There's a lot of beads that come that have very small holes, so make sure you pick out pony beads that have a large hole. If you'd like to see a written photo tutorial of this project, please visit our website, needlepointers.com, by clicking the iCard or the link in the description of this video. Also, at the end of the page, there will be links to where to purchase the paracord, the bracelet clips, and the pony beads that you could use for this project. By purchasing through our links, we earn a small commission, and it helps us to keep making more tutorials like this one. We thank you in advance for any purchases that you decide to make through our links. Each bracelet that you make will take 8 to 10 feet of paracord. It all depends on the size of your wrist that you're making it for. My wrist is about 7 inches around, and these bracelets were made with the 8 foot of paracord, and this fits pretty well. You can you'll adjust the bracelet to be the right size depending on your size of your wrist. If your wrist is larger than mine, then you might want to go towards the 10 feet. You'll be cutting the extra off at the end, so it doesn't hurt to have extra. I also forgot to mention you need little bracelet clips for attaching to your bracelet. So if you're using one color of cord, then cut the full 8 foot or 8 to 10 foot of the single color of cord in one big long piece. In this case, I'm going to show you how to make this bracelet with two colors. So I cut 4 foot of each of the two colors. So I have 4 foot of the blue and 4 foot of the orange. The first step in creating a two-color paracord bracelet is to attach these two cords together like this. And we do this so that we will have one big long piece to start knotting with. The best way I found to attach the two cords together is using a lighter. The paracord will melt under heat. It might be easier to have a friend or somebody help you with attaching the two together. I'm going to be very careful as to not burn myself here, and if any kids are watching this video, please have an adult help you with this part if you're going to do the two colors. I'm going to take the lighter and run it under the paracord a bit so that it will start to melt together. And then hold it together, pressing it together to get it to stay together. Okay, once they're well melted together and they're not coming apart, you can start making the bracelet. Take your cord that's now one big long piece and fold it in half with the ends together, like this. Take one half of the bracelet clip and insert the 2 pieces of cord from the front. This is the front of the clip that goes together to the back, and pull the 2 halves through until you get to the loop. Next, pull your 2 ends through the loop. So now you have that, and pull it tight. Now if you have the 2 colors, you want to situate, make sure your glued or your melted section is in the back of the bracelet, so it won't be showing on the front. And get it somewhat tight, being careful not to break your seal there. If you have just one color, you're just going to, loop it and then pull it so it's pretty tight, so that it looks like that. Okay, so the next step is, I usually smooth out, I run my fingers down the 2 cords the whole way so that they aren't tangled, because we want to make sure that they're not crossed over in any way. Take your other half of your bracelet and from the front, again from the front to the back, insert the 2 ends through. At this point I turn it around so it's facing upwards, and now I'm pulling the 2 ends through. So as you can see, here's the bracelet facing upwards. I have my 2 pieces of cording going in, and there's the ends. Okay, so at this point we're going to pull, and you want one on one side and one on the other side. Your one color on one side and the other color on the other side, so you can see how it's looped down. We can now take a small piece of duct tape and tape this hook to bracelet hook to your table. Next, we're going to measure. My wrist was about 7 inches, so you want to make your bracelet a little bit bigger than your wrist size, because as you braid, it will make it a teeny bit shorter. You would want at least 7.5, like for my wrist, which is 7 inches, I would want at least 7.5 inches between the 2 bracelet hooks. If I want the bracelet to be looser around my wrist, I would want to add a little bit more. So at that point you might want to have 8 inches. So I'm measuring 7.5 inches. So this is where the paracord is going into the bracelet hook, and then I'm measuring it down to this other end. And I can pull the cords to adjust it if I need to. After measuring this piece out, the length of your bracelet, then you're ready to start knotting. We are going to be doing a simple square knot for this bracelet. And it makes this cute pattern with these V's in it and these loops on the outside. So for the 2-color pattern, one of your colors will end up on the loops only here, and the other color will end up in the middle doing the V's back and forth. So like these V's are going to be one of the colors, and this is going to be the other color, the loops. I want to have the blue color on the outside and the orange in the V's. So whichever color you want to be in the V's in the center, that's the color you start with when you start making your square knots. This bracelet is made with just all square knots. It's a simple knot, and you start it by crossing the first color over top of your bracelet. Then take your other color and bring it on top of the first color. So we loop this over top and then bring the second color over top of that color. Take that color underneath the bracelet and then through the center of that loop that you made in the first step. Tighten this up nicely. Next, we continue again. That's a square knot. That was your first square knot. You just did a square knot. So here, I'm going to take, always starting with the orange over top. Bring the blue over top of the orange on the side. Pass it underneath. Pass it underneath and through the orange loop. And tighten. So you can see here, we have our first V. For this bracelet, I'm going to add these orange pony beads to the bracelet in the center. You can pick whichever color pony beads you want to add to contrast with the different colors of the paracord. So this one I used yellow and purple. And here I used the black with the yellow. And here I used the blue with the purple. When you're adding the beads, you want to evenly space them down your bracelet. So what I've been doing is, these are larger pony beads, and these I've used smaller pony beads. So for the larger pony beads, I am putting 4 crosswise in the V's, 4 strands going back, or 2 V's basically, in between each of the pony beads. So there's 2 in between each one. And I start it after the first V. So on this knot is where I'm going to start my pony bead. So just like always, like every time, we're going to cross over with the orange, cross with the blue, take it underneath, take it through. Now, before I pull it tight though, I want to put a pony bead onto the end, the orange. You're always putting the pony bead on whatever color is in the middle. So I'll move the pony bead in there and carefully pull it tight. So there we go. So now we have a pony bead. So now I'll do a couple more stitches, a couple more knots in between. Oops. Don't forget to put it on top. So cross this one over, put this on top, pass it underneath, pass it through. pull it tight. So that's 2. Three. And 4 knots. And as you can see, if you're doing it correctly, you're going to have the outside color is nicely going down, and then you'll see you'll see V's in between. So there's a V here and a V there. So my next one, when I'm using the large pony beads, I'm putting 2 full V's in between each pony bead. For the smaller pony beads, I was putting just 1 V in between each pony bead. So I'm going to continue stitching here, or knotting, but on this one I'm going to stick the pony bead. Cut off that frayed edge. Will make it easier to put the pony bead on. So here we go. And as you're tightening, you have to adjust your pony bead so it stays right in the middle there. And now I'll continue. Okay, so I'm going to continue knotting and adding the pony beads until I get to the end. And I'll show you what we do at the end. Okay, I'm almost to the end. I'm adding my last pony bead on here. And it's pretty close to the end here, but I'm going to get at least one more stitch in there, one more knot. Okay, so that's the last knot I'm making. It's nice and tight. And you probably want to try the bracelet on at this point to make sure it fits. Because at this point you could always take it out and take all the stitches out and make it a little bit longer if for some reason you have it as the wrong size. But so see, that was 7.5. It's a pretty snug fit bracelet because it shrinks up a little bit more as you're stitching. So if you like a looser bracelet, then definitely add a whole inch, or more than a half an inch for extra. Now, to finish up the bracelet, all that needs to be done is cut off these 2 ends, pretty close. Take your lighter and melt the little end and then it won't come apart. And it's good if it's melted to some of the actual other stitches or other cord, so that way it won't come popping out later. And that completes your paracord bracelet with pony beads. And like I said, this is a very flexible project. You can make the bracelet with just one color, with 2 colors, and with or without pony beads. And we have different sizes of pony beads, so you can make lots of interesting bracelets. These will make great friendship bracelets to give to your friends, and you can make coordinating ones for different matching ones between you and your friend, or you can make ones with each of your friends' colors that they like. We hope you enjoyed this video tutorial on how to make paracord bracelets with pony beads in one color or two tones. Please click the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel so you won't miss future videos. Also, share our projects with your friends through Facebook, Twitter, or Pinterest. Pinterest is a great way to keep track of all your favorite projects. So visit our website, needlepointers.com, for lots of other crafting projects and tutorials.